Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mediak podcast. It's been a very long time. I'm very happy we didn't record when we were supposed to, but I am not happy that it has taken this long. But it is. We've had lots of issues and problems and stuff like that. Skylar, it's been over a month. How has it been?
Living is living, How's it been on your end?
I'm directing and editing a documentary, and it is stressful, but we're making something great, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. So forgive me if there are scheduling issues here and in the future because I can't control that. Things are happening. How about you, Sky? Is work going good?
Ugh, ugh.
Oh, wait, we should really
Yeah,
we're talking about Spiderverse for anyone who didn't read the title. Continue.
Across the Spider-Verse
Yeah, across the
specifically.
Spider Verse, the second one.
Yeah. Um, I'm pretty much ready to get started into
All right,
that if you
you didn't want to talk
I'm
about
so
work.
antsy to talk about it. I've been
That's
talking about it
okay.
for like a month straight.
So I'm gonna be honest. So obviously we're gonna go with spoilers because that's just how I can't resist. I don't know how to watch what I say enough to not spoil something whenever I talk about it excitedly. So that's how we're gonna go with it.
Also, like
I left the movie and I hated it.
say psych right now.
I ain't saying psych. That's just how it is. So over time, my opinion has adjusted on it because I have come to really appreciate how beautiful and incredible the movie was, which is what I was thinking up until the movie ended. Right when the movie ended, I was incredibly upset with it because that's not how you end a movie. And I don't care if it's a part one or a part two. There are thousands, not thousands. There are a lot of part one and part two movies that have satisfying conclusions in general. So like, I left the movie hating it, but I now look upon it very fondly, and it is a fantastic movie, like almost from top to bottom, except for that end bit.
I'm not gonna lie. The second it said like to be continued, I was like, okay, now I'm ready for the next part.
I
And then
was
I sat in there and I was
pissed
like,
off,
there's
man.
no way. I was so angry
I was
right off the start.
pissed off because like
And then like the next day, I was like, okay, that was a really good movie. And then I pre-ordered it.
no, the very
I was
next
like, I need to
day,
watch
no,
it.
Skylar, fuck you. The very next day, me and my mom and my brother looked at Amazon and we saw that you could now buy the Blu-ray. It was uh, Friday. It was basically the movie barely came out, so we were like, "What idiot would pre-order the movie this early in advance?" So it's
I
really
really liked
funny
it.
that you said that. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean,
I enjoyed it a lot.
here's the thing. If I wasn't into film and like I cared so deeply about that now, I it's a double-edged sword because like I don't know. I was treating the movie with very high expectations because I genuinely think that the first one is perfect. I think it is a fantastic film, top to bottom. There's nothing you can remove to it or add to it to make it better. Uh, and this one, I was going in with the same expectations, and I guess it's kind of my fault that I was unhappy with the end of it because I was I was trying I was expecting it to be perfect, and that's a really high bar. So whenever something just wasn't perfect, I was like, it's terrible, it's bad. But I now acknowledge that it's like near perfect, at least in my head, it's near perfect because I
Yeah.
don't think any movie, uh, the quality of it should depend on what the next one is. You know?
Yeah. I do get what you mean. But like all the small details in the music and then
Yeah, it's so good.
like the colors, like all of it was so visually stunning
Oh yeah,
that
with
I was
like
like,
100%. It was it was incredible. The amount of art and effort that you can tell in each of the scenes is magnificent. And you know the Lego scene? So whenever the
like
first
the
trailer,
little
you know what this is? Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Whenever the first trailer came out, some kid animated it in Lego, and the directors of it noticed this video and asked the kid to animate the Lego section in the movie, and that is so cool to me. Like that is so
He killed
awesome.
it.
I know, right? He did
And
so
not to
good.
mention, he
I didn't even like who would have known?
I wanted
14.
I wanna know if he made those noises like the boop. Like, I want to know if he did that. Because if
I
he
choose
did,
to believe you did. Yeah,
he's a genius.
I choose to believe you did. That's so
Yeah, I choose
fantastic.
to believe that he did all of that scene.
Wait,
Like,
I does that mean that wait, no, the Lego movie stuff is DC. So so is there two different Lego universes, one with the DC characters and one of the Marvel characters? Sorry. We're talking about the multiverse where anything is possible here, and I am looking too deep into it, which is definitely not something that anyone thought about.
but so I didn't know that clearly. I didn't know that whenever I was first watching the
Yeah,
movie.
me neither.
And like I saw it like all over like social media. Like a 14-year-old did this, and I was
It's
like,
crazy.
okay, you guys are lying. And then I saw like a ton about it, and then I saw like the actual like I think it was their directors of Spider-Verse be like, yeah, a 14-year-old did it. And I was like, there is no way. Can you
Bro,
imagine
what
being
the fuck,
14 having
dude?
that on your resume?
I was like lighting Pepsi cans on fire or something like that in my kitchen whenever I was 14. How what the heck are what I should have been what did I do wrong that led this kid to go down that path?
Yeah. Bro has more of a professional career than I do. And
Yeah, I don't
he
even know,
got
man.
and I got 8 years on him at
Honestly,
least.
it's crazy.
Yeah, but it was that Lego scene was so good. I genuinely wouldn't have been able to like if they
I
didn't
know,
say
right?
that, I wouldn't know.
So we've been talking about how good it was, but we should probably describe a little bits of pieces about it, Skylar. Do you have like a particular moment in the movie that really stood out to you? Because a lot of people mentioned the scene on the Empire State. Was it Empire State Building? That
I know what you're
where
talking about. Whenever him and Gwen are upside down.
yeah. Because
Right?
I'm guessing that's like up there for you, one of your favorite scenes in the movie.
I did really like that. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. It is one of my favorite scenes. But one of my favorites is going to be whenever Miguel like well, spoiler. Miguel captures Miles like in that thing, and you can turn and see Obi going like use your palms,
Yeah.
and then he breaks out, and then he like gets away, and then the talk with Peter B. Parker
Oh yeah, it's good stuff.
like before his day, yeah, and he's like, I literally had a child because of you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
great
I
stuff.
like that scene. Yeah, but that also breaks Miguel's theory because that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. Can I tell you a really good theory that I saw?
Yeah, of course. Can I say my favorite part about the movie real quick?
Yeah, I guess.
My
Yeah.
favorite part about the movie was all the memes that came from it. All right, continue, Skylar.
All right. Say psych. That movie was fantastic.
No,
The memes
I
on the
know.
whole.
No,
Yeah,
that was a. I wasn't saying that in a mean way. Like the memes were fantastic about it. The movie was also fantastic. I really liked it. If we really, I didn't want to get you off topic from your thing, so I made a joke. I have an actual answer. Okay, do you want to hear
What's
it?
that? Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I really like that moment at the end of the movie when he was swinging away and it was like showing scenes in his eyes. Like that was the most standout moment for me whenever I was watching it because I was like, oh my god, wow, the amount of effort that had to be put into those scenes to have like animation on top of those animation and the movements and just the way that he was like, it was really good. It was really good. I like that.
So, before I get to my theory, there's like one more part that like I feel has just gone like under the radar. Like nobody has said it as like their favorite part, and it doesn't have Miles in it. So I think that might be why, because like the other ones are like obviously like the one scene we are talking about with him sitting upside down. The other
Sorry, go
one
ahead.
was like Peter B. Parker.
I just remembered something.
But the one with um Gwen and her dad
Yes.
and him saying
Oh my
I
god, that
quit.
was what I remember too.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
yeah, him
Gwen's
saying I quit. Like,
universe was beautiful. Every
yeah,
scene in her universe made me want to cry. It was like
yeah.
it
I
was
was
like
genuinely going back to tears.
it was so good.
It was
They were describing Gwen's universe as like a mood ring, but like
yeah,
uh,
I saw that.
I had a it was like an impressionist painting. It was like it really felt artistic in a really fun way. I really loved it, man, and it made all of my really dumb art classes that I felt like that were useless in college. It kind of made it feel like you know what that wasn't terribly useless because I felt that you know.
Yeah.
I was
I don't
like,
know.
damn,
Everything tied together
that
so
was
well all of the time. Every color change felt like super appropriate. Every color change felt correct. Like I don't think I would change. Well, there's very little I would change about this movie, regardless.
I have
The
one
only thing
thing,
is,
and I'll
I
get
would
into it.
literally just wait. I wouldn't have released Across the Spider-Verse, and I would just release them both together. And then that way, it's just like I don't even care if it's 5 hours. I just want the whole thing
I don't
at
know.
once.
I don't know. I actually think that a 5 hour movie would have completely gotten rid of all of my my complaints, because it really does just feel like we've watched half of a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
I
Like I
hate
was
that.
genuinely ready to sit down. Like I thought I was 30 minutes into that movie whenever it finished.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now where's the rest?
Well,
Like
I guess I also had the expectation that the is it the spot or the dot? Spot? Spot.
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 Yeah.
What I thought he was going to be the villain of the. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, there he is. Hi, the spot. I thought he was going to be the villain of the movie and not Miguel. So, I during the entire Miguel sequence, I was just like, it didn't feel. I need to rewatch the movie. That
I
is
have it.
that's something. That's true. I need to rewatch the movie because I feel as though if I went into it knowing that the climax happens as the climax instead of like me waiting a bigger climax, because the entire time I was like, oh, this much larger moment that is beyond the Spider-Verse is still going to happen in this movie because I didn't know that it was a part one and I didn't know that Miguel was like the big thing to overcome because I had these grand expectations. So I really think it's my fault. I don't know.
So that transitioned perfectly into my theory.
Yes.
One theory that I saw that I think would be crazy is, do you know the little person who Miguel always talks to on his wrist, like
Yeah.
the little orange? Somebody said that that's the villain, and they've been manipulating Miguel the entire time, and that like he was so distraught by the loss of his world or the world he wanted that he was willing to give into anything. He's like, yeah, you're right. It could, like, if I couldn't have it, nobody can have it. And so that like they're turning Miguel against everyone, and then it splits to
Mm.
like who's on Miguel's side and who's on Miles' side.
I have
And
a. I like that. I think that's fantastic. I actually think
yeah,
that would be really cool if that's
that
how it
would
turned
be.
out. But I
I
have
mean,
two
they're like,
things that I think are going to happen.
I have three. I am so
Oh,
excited.
oh,
Like, I
big
think there's
guy.
gonna be three fights. You can go first.
Actually,
I think I can
one
go
one of
every
them is
fight.
what I want to happen, and one of them is what I think is going to happen. What I want to happen is just to have like a 2 hour slugfest with all of the Spider-Man versus the Spot.
Yes. Yes, me too.
I think that would be
Dude,
the
didn't you see the
ultimate.
one scene with all the Spider-Man on the ground dead and the
Yeah,
spot just above them?
yeah,
That man
man.
is he's like genuinely
I
terrifying.
know. I want to see. Like, I don't think that there needs to be another villain because I think it
No,
would be
he's
really awesome to
fantastic.
see them try and fucking do something against this demon, and they
I
just
genu
can't.
I genuinely don't know how they beat him.
I
Like I was thinking about they like
That's
for
true.
the past like while. I don't know how they win.
See, that
Like I
actually
really
leads me.
don't.
That leads me into the thing that I think is going to happen. So there is a in Spider Verse. There's something called Madam Web, and it's the
Yeah.
lady who connects the
Oh,
strands, like little
yeah.
connecting universes things. They're making a movie about her right now, so I think that Sony is going to ruin this franchise by connecting them. So I think that they're going to do the second villain thing, but I don't think it's going to be the Watch Girl. I think they're going to introduce Madam Web. I think right whenever they kill, or right whenever the Spot is about to kill them, like she's going to come in and like rip them apart or something like that, and be like, "You're disrupting the timeline," and then it's like a trailer for the next one.
Make me so angry.
It's probably not going to
I
happen. I
saw
don't know.
somebody
I could see it
I saw
happening. I
somebody say
couldn't see
that
it not
too.
happening.
I saw somebody say that too, not in relation to the the other Sony thing.
Hmm.
They're like, what if it connects? Like, what if this is how they bring in like Madam Web? And I was like, I
Dude,
just want it to be Spot. Spot is so
me too.
cool.
I agree with that. Here's the thing, okay? But Sony likes to ruin everything. That's funny because I used to say that about WB, but even though a lot of people don't like the movies that are coming out of theirs, they've been making a lot of changes to do better. Sony, on the other hand, has been doing as many changes as they can to do worse, actually. So they have a really interesting goal that most companies don't have regularly. So Morbius released 3 times. It
Yep.
flopped
Yep.
3 times. So then they committed on making more movies within this universe. One of which I'm actually really excited about, which is Venom 3, and we're gonna talk about that later. But Craven is now coming out. Madam Web is filmed, and there is confirmed 3 Spider-Women and 1 Spider-Man in that movie. So I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that they're just committing to. They recently canceled Bad Bunny's El Muerto, which I feel like that just makes sense because he's only ever had half a comic book written about him. So what are you gonna make a movie on? But all everything they're doing in this universe
Well,
looks terrible so far. So I would not be shocked if the only thing that Sony ever has made that's good, they ruin.
yeah.
which
Yeah.
which
You
is
got
the
two things.
Spider-Verse movies.
I genuinely am going in with the expectation that this. Okay, so I think the three fights are obviously like the Miles v. Miles. That one's gonna start out. I think that's how it's gonna start, and then I think it's gonna go into like, um, I think at one point it's gonna be again Miles versus Miguel, and then I could see like Gwen Spot, Peter B. Parker,
I think
and
all of them got
Miles
to fight
v.
the Spot.
Miles.
Oh,
Yeah,
also,
but I think it's gonna start out with those three, and
that's
then
fair.
the
Yeah.
other ones are gonna join like later. So like those are the three fights I think are like not guaranteed to happen, but like I feel like it's pretty common sense.
I also think
But
he's gonna die. I think Davis is gonna die because
I think it's gonna be Peter B. Parker.
I'd be sad about that one because Mayday.
I know, I would too.
It's like
But
like I don't know. I not that I wouldn't be sad about it if he didn't have a daughter, but because the fact that he has a daughter, it'd just be more sad.
but
I wouldn't like that one. But I
I
think it would be really
think
cool to keep
that
the canon events. You know
I feel like Peter B. Parker fills
that role.
the role that like the Uncle Ben, the Miles Uncle Aaron
Yeah.
filled, like his like safety person. And then what's gonna happen with this child is Miles is gonna take it, and like him and his mom and his dad are gonna raise it as part of like his family if
Well,
they can.
I'm thinking
So
about the different Spider-Man, and they're like it's always the like the sheriff or whatever, or like the captain.
yeah, Captain, yeah.
Which what if it's not always the captain, but it's like the influential, non-related trainer or whatever? So that Peter B. Parker would make sense for that. Cause like
Gwen would too.
what?
Gwen would.
Yeah, that's true. Cause like
And I mean, how many times has
Gwen's
Gwen
dad
died in this
didn't
movie
die. They
already?
just thought that he was going to, you know.
Mm.
And Miles's dad hasn't died yet. They just think he's going to. So technically speaking, they don't know 100% that's about the captains, unless I'm
I
wrong
mean, he's
about that. I don't
also
know.
the original anomaly, so he might not even follow the normal
Yeah,
rules.
you freaking never
It could be
know.
his mom, which I would genuinely be heartbroken at. I don't think anything would be more
Oh,
sad than
I'd go
dad died.
fighting someone if she
Like,
died.
yeah, I'd find that office and I'd start beating ass.
Yeah,
I'd be so
I
pissed.
would take that personally if
Yeah,
she died.
if she dies, regardless of how good the movie is, I hate it.
Yeah,
Like, she is a must-need character. She is fantastic.
yeah, man.
But yeah, I'm starting to fall into that. I think it's Peter B. Parker who's actually gonna die. I think he's
Probably.
gonna sacrifice himself for Miles.
I think that would make sense. I think keeping canon events like legitimate would be such an interesting way to do this. It's just like only the Spot and Miles. Those are the only anomalies allowed. No matter what, if there is a Spider-Man now, one of the mentors has to die because his uncle died. That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically his uncle already died.
Well, I know that's
But
what I'm saying.
his
Like,
uncle died.
so there's two deaths in Spider-Man. There's your uncle, and then there's the captain.
Captain. Oh, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
So his uncle already died.
Yeah, and now it's the captain.
Yeah, exactly. Because he still has the canon events. He still has to do them still. Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
but
I really hope this movie is good. Because if this
I
next
know.
one is bad, then it makes
Maybe
this
so
one
mad.
kind of bad.
Yeah, because it sets up for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah,
Which actually then leads us into the reason why we delayed the podcast last time, which we were supposed to record on Monday instead of today, but we pushed it because there was some drama going around with Beyond the Spider-Verse, and we wanted to hear what the outcome was going to be like so that we would have a little bit more of a different kind of discussion than other podcasts about Spider-Verse. So, a lot of people came out on Twitter and was like, "Hey, we're not getting paid a lot, and 100 people just quit, and there's no way Beyond the Spider-Verse is coming out in a year," and a bunch of really bad stuff like
it wasn't
that.
even a year. It was like 6 months.
Yeah, it was like it
Like
was
8 months.
March, so it was like 10 months, I think, or 9 months
Yeah,
or something. Like
whatever.
it was less than a year. It doesn't matter.
Within a year.
It was way less than they needed because it was 5 years. It took 5 years to make Across the Spider-Verse, and it took 10 years to make Into the Spider-Verse. So less than a year does not really make sense.
Yeah,
and
they
they
pretty
were
much had to
saying,
be like wrapping
I
up.
know,
Like,
and the people who were working on the movie, to my
Haley
knowledge,
Steinfeld.
only the script had been finished for this next movie, which is like not a lot, especially when the
No.
movie is animated and it's going to take a really long time. Like this one episode of One Piece has taken 7 months to animate, and it's 40 minutes. So imagine like a 2.5 hour movie that's Spiderverse quality.
Well, not only that, but so I kind of compared it to Infinity Game and Infinity
Yeah,
War Endgame.
I
It
actually
took
do
that
that
a
all the time
year,
too.
and that was not hand drawn.
No,
It took
no,
a
no, no, no,
year
no,
to
no.
do it.
That's a mistake actually. So those movies were filmed at the same time in 2016. So they had
That's
that
insane.
footage all the way
Years.
up. Yeah, I'm being serious. They filmed both movies. So the reason why they did that was so that none of the actors on set would know what's going on. So they would film like a middle scene from Endgame first before they did any Infinity War stuff. Because they were like, we gotta make sure that no one knows what the hell is going on, so no spoilers got out. So that's a very specific kind of deal.
Yeah, but like, yeah. So I saw it like
Regardless,
that. I was like, okay, they released within a year, and without knowing that, I was like, okay, this is hand drawn. Like, this
well,
isn't just people.
it's it's
Like,
it's 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 much like harder than anyone could imagine. Clearly, much harder than the Sony people imagine.
yeah. Um,
What they should
being
have
as they
done
did,
is not released this one for a while. They should have waited until both were done and then released them a year apart, or waited until Beyond the Spider Verse was a year from being done and then released across the Spider Verse.
I dare even say like a couple months from being done, so they can make sure
I
everything's
don't disagree.
fine.
I don't disagree with what you're saying.
But what was it? I saw that Haley, is it Haley Steinfeld?
Hmm.
I think I told you this
She hasn't
already. That
recorded
she
her
didn't even
lines.
record
Yeah,
her lines,
that's
and she was
crazy.
like, yeah, she's like, I didn't even start recording my lines yet. And
I
I
don't
was
think
like, okay, yeah,
anyone has, to my knowledge. It is
I don't think
crazy.
so either. I mean, if Spider Gwen hasn't, then who else has? It would be
Yeah,
like Miles, but
which
he did that. He definitely didn't start
yeah,
like they would record them simultaneously. They're like the two main characters.
yeah. So that kind of shoehorned Sony into, because of all these announcements. It shoehorned Sony into making a response because it was either like release a bad movie or delay the movie. And so on Monday, or like a couple hours, or Tuesday or some kind, they
I think it was
announced that they're pushing it back to 2026. Am I right? What day was it? I don't
yeah,
know.
it's like June. It's like June 2026
Which is
too.
still crazy because
Yeah, that's still really short.
it's like 3 years. That's a, like, yeah, that's a long
With less
time. But
animators.
if you know how hard it is to animate something, because I fell into that kind of like category of not understanding. Like back in high school, whenever I'd watch anime, and I'd be like, "Oh, that scene sucked. Like that looked like shit." I'm like, I can't forgive that. But as a 21-year-old and like being forced to have animated stuff for classes and spending 3 months on something that popped out 1 minute long, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
they need a little
Not
bit
only
more
that,
time.
they're doing like they're doing half the time with 100 less animators.
Yeah, I know.
So
That's crazy.
like I saw something that said they were working like 11-hour
Yes,
days,
yes.
7 days a week.
And then they would approach
I was
Sony
like,
with it, and they'd be like, "Can you redo it?"
yeah, yeah. They'd be like, no, and
It's
like
not
yeah,
good
like, you'd
enough.
be like,
Fix it. You're like, what the
yeah.
fuck? I don't get it. That's crazy.
I
That's
felt
insane that they
I
were choosing.
genuinely feel bad for those animators. I mean, they
Me
did
too.
fantastic. They deserve all
They
the credit they
look
could
so
get,
good though.
but like they did not deserve those conditions.
It's true.
Like,
I mean, no
it,
animators do. Even the ones in
yeah,
like, have you ever? Have you seen the memed picture of the director in Mappa, and how his like circles go down like so far, and he barely has slept. All animators get such a terrible rap in the community.
yeah.
They get paid like nothing. The Demon Slayer sorry, the Demon Slayer writer only got like $20,000 for that movie, and that movie made like $500 million.
Bro got scammed.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
obviously, I think that makes sense. It's whatever.
yeah,
I know that's
yeah.
not an
I
animator
don't know
thing,
if they
but it's
weren't
like the same
expecting it to
community.
do that. I want to say that in there, and that they didn't expect it to do that well. I'm gonna say that's what they thought. They're like,
No,
okay, this is probably gonna be right around
that is
like
it.
a mid-tier one, but it was not, and he definitely should have gotten something afterward. Be like, hey, you did kind of good.
Well, I
Here's
mean,
something.
it's just how the community, not the community is. It's how the industry is. They just don't pay anyone who does any animation stuff because I don't know. I guess people just don't understand how difficult it is. They think, oh, you're drawing, you're doing something fun, so that means you should not, you should work longer because you enjoy your work. But it stops its enjoyment after a while, and it just becomes. Uh, I don't even know how to
I,
describe it.
I genuinely think whenever 2025 Christmas comes around, they're gonna delay it again.
I
I
don't.
think that's gonna
I
happen.
don't think so because I think at that point Craven will have come out and flopped. Madam Web will have come out and flopped. Um, the other movie that they have will have come out and flopped. So I think they will need their money, and they're going to be like, Spiderverse will get us that money back.
I'm gonna be. I'm so worried. Like I wasn't worried whatsoever
I
at the end of
was.
this movie.
That's the reason why I left the movie so upset because I was like, you can't do this. You can't just because if you look at Infinity War and you look at like Lord of the Rings, those movies, the first two Lord of the Rings and Infinity War, stand on their own as movies. Like they have their own like circular stories. You don't have to watch the other ones if you're satisfied with that story. It would be more beneficial for you and the rest of like the story if you did watch them. This one doesn't work like that. Like it literally depends on the next movie and how good it is if this one is going to be good or not.
Technically, isn't it like a three-part? It's a three-part. Into the Spider-Verse
Well,
finished on its own.
I would agree with you on that, but because of how hard they cut this off, it's more like a two movies and one of them is two parts. I'm playing with
Like
quarters.
whenever they said it was coming out in, I don't even remember, March, like I was like, okay, I think it's gonna be like really good. Like there's like I was like, okay. So I like this is me trying to like I guess cope with me being mad. I was like, okay, at least this one's just gonna start off throwing hands. Like I was like, okay, if this doesn't open up and it's just Miles going like my first like do you remember what Peter B. Parker said to him
Yeah, he
like
was like,
uh watch,
don't look at the mouth, look at the
don't yeah, don't
hands.
watch the mouth, watch the hands.
Yeah.
Something like that, and then just like straight start fighting. And then like I was like, okay, that's how it's gonna start out. I'm so worried for that scene now because if that is bad, I'm going to be mad the remaining movie.
So
Like
no, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
like the Miles, like first of all, I love how
Trick
the
Miles.
huh?
Oh, Riz Miles. That was it. Yeah.
Braid
The new one.
Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Braid Miles. I love how he rolls his R's. I
Yeah.
think it is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the parallels between them. That
Fantastic.
Miles Morales is so cool. Like
Yeah.
I don't like he is so sick. And I am actually proud of myself because I like do you know how like the second the movie comes out, it's like, oh, details you might have missed. I didn't miss any of them. Like it was like
I'm so proud of you, Skylar.
yeah. Like I was like, um whenever Miles was like disappearing, I was like, oh, he went to the wrong universe. And then
Yeah, no, I saw
like
that too.
other
Yeah, I was
things,
like, yeah,
I was like, and then he was like, I'm Spider-Man. And he's like, who's Spider-Man? And I was like, "Ah, I knew it. Like
yeah.
it was so good. But so good, so bad at the same time.
There is
Because
so in my youth, a cameo fest thing, like if it was just like a movie, One Piece Stampede for One Piece fans out there, uh, that movie would have been like my favorite movie ever if I was a One Piece fan in high school when I watched that because I loved cameos. I thought it was the craziest thing ever. Nowadays, like I watched Stampede and I really appreciated it for the fights, but I thought it was like I could notice the details and looked over the cameo parts of that, and I didn't feel as though the cameos were egregiously. Oh my god! I wish I was better at speaking. I didn't think they were that bad in this, except for one, and it was
I
I
guess
think it was Spectacular Spider-Man. Is that the
you didn't like
TV
it.
show? No,
Yeah.
because who is like okay? I know who he is. The audience knows who he is. Miles doesn't know who he is. Why is he speaking to him during this big emotional moment? He's only
That's a good
speaking.
point.
He's only
That's actually a good
speaking
point.
because the
Does Miles
audience
really
knows
only
who
know?
he is.
I mean, Miles doesn't really know Miguel.
I understand that, but Miguel is attacking him.
Ah,
And
that's a fair point. Yeah, I
yes,
guess.
Spectacular
Spider-Man's like,
Spider-Man
all
not
right.
only wouldn't say anything during that moment because he doesn't know Miles, but I also believe that Spectacular Spider-Man would have been on a Miles' side. But we don't have to talk about that today. I
Oh,
think if Tom Holland Spider-Man was there, he would have 100% been on.
was Insomniac Spider-Man in there?
Yes, he was in the cage.
There's absolutely he was in a cage.
No, like he was where Donald Glover was at.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
if I'm he like if he I don't recall. I mean, it's been like a fair minute. Was he chasing Miles?
No.
Because if he was, he better have caught Miles. That is like,
Dude, he's the strongest Spider-Man there is.
yeah,
Yeah.
like he is crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
saw that video too because there was like tons of Spider-Man stopping one helicopter. Then it was like Insomniac Spider-Man.
yeah, he does it on his own and then beats like the Sinister Six
Yeah,
all at once.
yeah,
And like I see all the memes. It's like your crush is like as he's falling, like your crush is watching, you just get beat, and it's like your little brother's watching, you fucking slings back up. Like
yeah.
it's so sick. But yeah, there's zero chance that Insomniac Spider-Man does not catch, beat, and like cage Miles if that's
Mame
what he believes.
Spider.
Yeah, if that's what he believes,
Yeah.
or he absolutely beats Miguel.
Well,
Like
Miles is
there is
very
zero
strong
chance.
too. The Miles in wait, wait.
PS5.
The Miles is in Insomniac's universe. I'm so confused because why is
Technically,
Miles an anomaly whenever a Miles already exists that they know about?
I think there's a good bit of plot holes right now.
Yeah, obviously, because they introduced everything, so it's not possible to like rein in everything. It's whatever though. I had something to say and it's completely gone, and I'm upset about that. I like the
I
way that.
rewatched Into the Spider-Verse after I watched Across the Spider-Verse, and I saw the bagel scene.
I
That's
know.
what I wanted to watch for.
That made me really happy whenever that happened in the movie. I was like, that changes that scene forever.
Was it Caden watched this movie like a couple days after? I was like, okay, watch it. It's really good. It's like actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he watched it. And do you remember the part where Spot and Spider-Man and um, Miles' dad were all like together? And it's like, I created you. And then Miles' dad's like, Spider-Man, why'd you create that guy? Like, that made Caden laugh so hard.
No,
He's like, that is
no.
unironically my favorite part about this movie. He's like, it made me laugh because it was so unexpected and he was so serious.
Yeah, no. Dude, okay, so I have a lot of people are really shitting on the new Flash movie, and I have been keeping my opinion very quiet, and I haven't been watching a lot of videos reviewing it because I know that they're going to be skewed a lot. But me and Austin, when we left that movie, regardless on our opinions towards the movie, I'm not even gonna say mine. We we said that movie was fucking really funny. It was like there were many points in which it had us cackling. We compared it to Spider-Verse actually. Sorry, continue. That just made me think of that.
Yeah,
That is such a
but
Caden moment to laugh at. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
The
he
second you
laughed
said that,
so
I
hard.
was like, I can picture Caden cackling at that.
Like, I'm not even
It's
gonna lie.
funny.
He's
Why'd
like,
you create that guy?
Because
Because that sounds like
Spider-Man,
something
what are you doing?
Caden would say, you know?
Yeah. Well, it was even funnier the way he showed me. He was like, Skylar, guess the scene that I thought that was the funniest. And I'm like, okay, out of the entire 2 hours, you want me to pick one funny joke? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right. And I did. And he's like, nope, wrong. And then he showed me.
Yeah. It's so good, man.
And he's like, Spider-Man, why'd you create that guy? And he was still laughing so hard. He like, couldn't talk for like a minute.
It's so great.
He was just laughing.
I really like the Spot's introduction. That had me cackling. Like whenever he was like,
bread going through him.
no, he was like, why are you doing this? And he was like, my skin kind of looked weird and all, so I couldn't get a job. So he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be a criminal. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. That's so funny.
He was such a jokey villain at the beginning.
So good.
His like transition to becoming what he is at the end was insane. I didn't even notice it
I
until
wanna-
like the end. I was like,
I wanna. So we've been talking about this a lot longer than we talk about our normal movies, which is not a bad thing at all. Because
I think it kind of deserves it.
I definitely think it does. But I have a theory. Not a theory. I thought of this way to fix my problem with the movie after watching the movie, and that is to delay the Spot's like explosion and power instead of it happening all at the beginning of the movie. Have it happen like throughout the movie. So like it builds up him being like a what did they say, weekly, or what did they describe him, like a weak villain? It was not run of the mill. It was I don't know. It doesn't matter. They described him as like as a just a common villain.
A gag character.
Yeah, and they just showed that more as he builds up his power until the end of the movie ends. Like the movie ends with him getting that super ultimate power and going off to go after Miles' dad. Because what happens is it leaves this moment where the Spot gets ultimate power, and then like hours pass and he doesn't do anything with it. You know? So it would have felt more conclusive, because we wouldn't have felt like the Spot was going to be the main villain at the end of the movie because he hasn't got those powers yet. We would have felt like Miguel was, because Miguel was the one hunting him down throughout the movie. Obviously, you would have to like rearrange some shit to make it work, but I think that would have caused for a more like it would have made the climax feel more climactic while also leaving for a slightly better cliffhanger. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Something else that I thought was really funny. I thought of it in the middle because you were talking about
Yeah.
one of the explosions, and it made me think of like the first one and like
Really good.
and is it Petrov Parker, or like the Indian
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And he was
yeah.
so
Just another
like he's
dick
like
for
that's another easy
Spider-Man.
job for Spider-Man. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that killed me. That was
There
so
was
funny.
I don't want to just like trash other people's opinions, but there was this one person who angered me so much because like if you don't like the movie, like I understand
Yeah,
not
that's
liking the
fair.
movie. If you give me good reasoning on why you like it, like oh I didn't like where it cut off, or I don't know, I just couldn't buy into it, like I expected too much, like that's fine.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. This one person said it was too inclusive,
What the fuck
and
does that mean? What does that mean?
he said that they made an Indian Spider-Man, and that did nothing but show how they were striving for inclusivity, and it hurt the plot. I was like,
Hurt the
I was
plot.
so angry,
It
so
showcased so much
angry.
of the plot. Like,
And not to mention, he was around before. They didn't make him. He was already there. They just put him in a movie. Like,
I freaking. Why
that's
can't
the
people
one.
just
That's the one that's made me angry.
Why do
Because
people
like,
look for
okay,
problems?
I get being mad
Well,
about something.
I'm one of those people.
Not in this movie. Not in this movie.
Yeah, I understand looking for problems because I always look for problems, but that's not a problem that's important. That is so fucking lame. Why
It's
would
not
you
in this
even
movie.
go there? It's not even a problem. Like, bleh.
No, it's fine.
It's like that one guy getting mad at me because I didn't like pedophilia. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 But like,
Go ahead, fight your battle,
it
man.
was like it hurt the plot trying to include all these different Spider-Men
Yeah.
and like Spider Women.
Which is the point of the
I was
movie.
like, yeah, I was like, do you not see the title? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one made me very angry, and that's why I wanted to bring up Indian Spider-Man specifically, because one, I think he was hilarious,
He was dope as
and
hell.
he was fantastic.
Yeah, I liked him a
And
lot.
did you see that they got like did you see like during recording they were like, I don't think we did this right, and then they called the voice actor and they were like, hey, can you help us sit down and rewrite some of this and make it more like culturally correct?
Oh yeah.
And then that's where they came up with the chai tea joke.
Oh really? That's great.
Yeah.
I
At
love
least that's
that.
from what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
and
you
that's
know
where
that
the chai tea thing came from, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's a little bit that I didn't know there. That's great.
Yeah, and chai tea. That's like
I
saying
like that. I
coffee.
like that bit too. It was funny because it was like a parallel to Miles's ATM machine thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh,
Why
that's
do
funny
you
that they
say
both
ATM
have their little
machine?
things.
It's ATM. The
Yeah.
M already stands for machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was cute. I was like, oh, it's really funny that they're both Spider-Man and they both have that thing.
Well, it was also really funny for me because one of my professors would go. He opened up the class going, okay, it's not chai tea. Chai already means tea, so it is chai or you want tea. It is not chai tea. It is chai or tea.
What about
And
chai
like that's how
latte?
he opened it up, so it kind of reminded me of him.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty funny. But
I couldn't remember how I knew that. It definitely was because you told me that story already. That definitely was it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The professor was weird. It was pretty funny. But, I also liked this, like, not like it wasn't like a theory, but like an observation somebody made is that Obi's like significantly smarter than what he shows, is because
Yeah,
he
definitely.
made, yeah, he made the bracelet on
Yeah,
his own.
that was like, well, all of the Spider-Men are incredibly smart. That's like one of their characteristics.
Yeah,
What I'm
he like
guessing is
didn't
he
use
used the one that was given to him and he just like reverse engineered it.
yeah, like that's what I'm thinking. That's
Yeah,
like whenever he was stealing all the parts, that's what he was doing.
dude, Obi himself took. Sorry, I don't want
3
to
years.
mess up the number, but it was like
I think
7 months or something. That might have been the One Piece one. 7 or 9. It was one of those two, just to animate, and that's
I
him
heard it was 3
alone,
years.
huh?
I heard it was 3 years to get
Three
the style.
years, maybe.
Yeah, I heard it was a while.
That makes sense because I wouldn't be surprised about that because I've been sorry. I'm a little
Like
frazzled. My brain is right
like
now.
I'm not saying like it took him 3 years to draw
No, no, no,
each
no,
one.
no,
I'm
no, no,
saying like it
no.
took him
Do you
that
know
long
what
to
went
come up
into
with what
him?
to do. Yeah,
Each of
yeah,
everything on him was moving at a different frame rate. So like
yeah.
that's
And
it
he was
makes
the only
sense.
one.
It makes sense
But
that
he doesn't believe in consistency.
I would not be shocked if he took 3 years to animate because that's crazy.
I again, I vaguely remember it. I remember seeing it online.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember them saying it, but I heard it took them a while. And then like one of the things is he turns pink around people he likes. So he turns pink around Miles every time. He turns pink around. I think he
You
turns
see
pink around
the
Gwen.
the basketball handshake that he did with
Yeah,
yeah,
LeBron.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like that. I was like, oh, that's fun. Did you
yeah. I
notice
didn't
that
notice that until
whenever?
somebody put them like side by side
Oh
though,
yeah,
as
yeah.
a big fan. Yeah.
Whenever
Um,
I don't know if you know that there's a meme of Spider-Man walking in the rain from a video game, and they recreated that scene with Miguel at the end of the movie whenever he rips open the portal and then he's walking on the rooftop. That walk in that same camera movement was used in the game, and that turned into a meme. And I really appreciate them doing that because they did that with so much stuff in the first movie and in this one. They just are they care so much, and it would be a real big shame if the next one sucks.
what's a another really big piece that I thought was just like a nod to the creativity side.
I had a thing to say. It's
Um,
completely gone now.
I really like that Obi, like everything he said is like completely true to him. And then the one scene with him and the baby in the back, he's like crapping on the establishment. I salute you, like in the background, and then like
Yeah.
and like Obi, you're not
So
helping. He goes good. Like immediately after, I thought Obi was so well
dude,
done.
I liked him. I liked him a lot, man. He
It
was
was
so
so
good.
it's so hard not to like him in the
I know,
movie.
right? Like
He just had
the
he like so many of the scenes were just fantastic.
good writing for the most part, minus
That was
my
good.
little complaint I had. But that's probably
Yeah.
not a complaint. It probably is due to my high expectations. Like I said, I probably will love this movie as much as the first one if I rewatched it right now. But
Yeah.
I haven't,
I'm
so
waiting. I don't know because it's still like on pre-order right now. I've been checking every couple days
I don't think it's
because
gonna come
they
out for
never
a
gave me
while,
like a
man.
day. I know people thought it was like 45 days from the original release, so it would be like mid-July, but
Are you sure about that? I've been
who knows?
pre-ordering One Piece Red for like well over 6 months, and that movie came out whenever Superhero came out.
Oh no.
So
Oh, I
I
might
don't.
be.
That's different because I have the superhero CD like back there, so it just is different.
Um, I'll have to. I
Doesn't
didn't get.
matter.
There wasn't like a time. Like
I'm
I thought there was a
debating.
date on it. I for some reason like June 22nd. I wrote on my board because I thought I saw it somewhere, and it passed and it was not there. So I was very mad that day. But because I planned my entire day around watching that movie again, and
Mhm.
it was not there, and I
Oh,
couldn't
that's
rewatch
sad.
it. So I was pretty mad.
That's really
But
sad, man.
I like I'm not gonna lie. I want to talk more about the Peter B. Parker Miles scene.
That's
That
so
scene
fair,
was
man. Keep going at it. I'm trying to figure
never.
out the news so that I can get it going fast. So just literally go off.
So I like how whenever they're all chasing him, he slings away because he already knows where Miles is going. Because
Yeah.
he's like, I feel as though he's more Miles' dad than Miles' actual dad, which again is
I
probably
feel
where
like
they're
that's a little
going.
complicated because we haven't seen much of Miles's relationship with his father except for the negative
Yeah,
stuff from the first movie. You know
yeah,
what?
yeah. I know that. And there's even some negative in this movie, like the birthday scene. Like he was trying to be Spider-Man, trying to get the cake, trying to get out there, and there's like, why do you keep doing this? And like making like a big scene around him, making him like look bad. He's like, all right, like
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just
but
gonna go.
his dad doesn't know that he's Spider Man. He just
Well,
thinks that he's a kid
yeah,
that's lazy.
Yeah, that's what he thinks, and he's a kid that doesn't care because he was
Yeah,
late to
but
like the one meeting and
which
everything
he
like
is
that.
all right to think that because his
Well,
son
yeah,
hasn't
I know
told him that he's Spider-Man.
yes, I know it's all right to think that, but like the Miles is like trying to convince himself to come out to his family
Yeah.
like as that he's Spider-Man and his family's doing nothing but just like calling him like lazy all the time. He's like, why would I come? He's like, why would I do that?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not saying Miles's point of view isn't like understandable, but I'm saying
yeah,
like Jefferson's
yeah,
Jefferson.
it's a both an understandable point,
Yeah,
but um, I thought that Miles's dad probably like if they wanted to make it like establish like a better relationship because right now I think he has a significantly better relationship with his mom,
yeah,
but it's from that rooftop scene
yeah,
whenever he's with Gwen. I thought if it was Miles's dad in that spot, like they would have established a really good connection right there, just
probably.
from that one scene alone. Like that's all they needed. Like you can make it like as awkward and as like the awkward like dad son talk like as much
Well,
as
they
you
kind of
want. It
had
is
that at the end of the first Spider-Verse movie. Whenever he was like pretending he was Spider-Man, but he was talking to him, and he was like, "I look forward to working with you in the future. I love you."
yeah. Or the maybe you should get off his ass.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought that was
Yeah.
really funny. I
No,
thought that was
I
a really
like that a
funny
lot.
part.
That stuff was so good.
Yeah. And then he was like trying to walk away while he was saying good things about him. He's like, he does such
Yeah.
stupid things. Yeah, but
Okay, I'm gonna use this as a transition point. I'm not gonna number this movie because I feel like it doesn't make sense to until the next one's out.
yeah.
Um, but I am gonna go straight into news, and with that, we Sony has confirmed a live action Miles Morales movie. Uh, that's
I
in
saw
the
that. I thought it
that's
was a
in the
lie.
works. That's in the works. So don't get hopes up for anything about that. The Spider Woman movie is I think the script is out and they're casting right now and they're looking at Ana de Armas, but that's not confirmed yet. And then Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 is in the works also. We're also getting a TV show for Spider Noir with Nick Cage, and I personally am incredibly excited for that. I
I
think
am
that's gonna
too.
be incredible.
I was very mad that there wasn't a lot of Spider Noir
He
in the
didn't have a
last one.
single word. He wasn't in the credits.
I know. I was so
That
mad.
made me
I
upset.
wanted to, especially because like I saw like the one thing about them recording, and it was like, oh, you want the full Cage experience, and then they were like, yeah, and then it's like apparently he delivered like every line perfectly,
Yeah.
and I was like, we
Because
actually didn't
how
get to
wouldn't
see
he,
it.
man? He makes a cameo in the Flash movie, and I like almost stood up out of my seat whenever it happened.
How did you feel about the Childish Gambino um
I
cameo?
that was one that made me really smile because I enjoyed it because of the nod to the MCU. So, but
Mhm.
like, I also got kind of sad because I know we're never gonna see that.
That made that like kind of reminded me of his campaign to be Miles
Yeah,
Morales.
no, he had a campaign to be Spider Man, which is why the Logic song Black Spider Man came out was because it was between Donald Glover and Tom Holland, and
I wonder
Tom
who
Holland
won.
won, and then yeah, history. And then Donald Glover was Miles Morales' uncle in that movie. So cool. Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, next news. The second Beetlejuice movie is indeed happening, and that is coming out September 6th, 2024. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me right now. Probably a lot of things, for being honest. Um, so there's gonna be a Spy. There's gonna be a
Right.
Spy Kids reboot coming out soon, and it just says
I don't think
soon.
it's gonna be
So
good.
obviously not. Well, the original ones aren't good if we're being really honest here.
No, they are. They're great.
You're right.
You get her email.
Yeah,
It's
it's so good.
like
It's classic. Yeah.
the thumb people. I want to know what they're gonna look like.
Hopefully good. Actually, they looked good because they were prosthetics or something. They were like real. But to go off of Beetlejuice a little bit more, so I didn't know I had extra news on this. It's been over a month since I've screenshotted this, but Michael Keaton and Jenna Ortega are going to be in the new Beetlejuice movie. Keep going. We got release dates for the start of Loki season 2, and all of Echo is dropping on November 29th, and Loki starts on October 8th. That's going to be releasing weekly.
Is there anything about What If season 2?
Yes, there's actually a lot. I did a screenshot that. I really hope I did.
I really hope you did. I've been waiting on that for so long. Or Marvel Zombies.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything. Marvel Zombies has not had an update. I did not screenshot the update on What If, but we are getting some pretty cool What Ifs coming this year. I think. I could be
I
lying to
hope
you though.
maybe.
I think it is this year. Sorry, let me go back down to my news. Next up on the list is the Hellboy reboot. The third
Nice.
reboot of it is the third attempt at it is going into works. Well, it's been in works. It's now like heavy in progress, so that we're gonna be getting that relatively soon. We got the new season of Futurama comes out next month, July something, 20 something. I don't know. So Disney bought the rights to make an anime Alien versus Predator show, so we're getting that, which is kind of interesting. So this is
Yeah.
actually really funny because I screenshotted the original release date for Beyond the Spider-Verse, but as we know, that is not what it is anymore.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. So we got a set photo of Henry Ford and Anthony Mackie on the new Captain America movie, and that changed name to Brave New World. So that's what that's going to be now. I don't know. It all depends on your excitement towards the Marvel universe and that things right now, because a lot of people are very superheroed out. A lot of their stuff has been pushed back. Like I'm looking at their timeline here, and I don't know if it's even worth it to say it, but I'm going to because I know Chandler's watching this. So
I feel like a lot of people are getting burnt out
yeah,
with
that's what
that like type of thing. Like I don't like obviously like there's been some like not some as good like not as good movies as like we hoped. But I feel like a lot of the issues people just don't want to see it anymore.
I don't.
Unless it's like something like Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse or something like so mind-blowingly good that like they're just like it's average at best. Like I feel like
I
they're
think it's
just like
because they're
like
just
Guardians of the
bad.
Galaxy was fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's not such thing as fatigue. I think people just don't like watching bad movies. I
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
I think so too.
that's a pretty obvious statement, but
But I think it is. I think there is fatigue. Like I feel like if you watch the same type of thing over and over and over, if it doesn't like impress you,
spy
then
movies
it's
have been coming out
not
since the 20s. So I don't think it's
gonna.
that spy movies. They've been coming out
I guess
for dozens of years. So
yeah, but
I
has
don't think
there
it's
been like
fatigue. I genuinely think it's because
a
it's
year?
bad. Like you can do new and good stuff with superhero movies. You just
Yeah,
gotta
I mean,
make it you gotta put love and effort into it. Don't just pop it out because people want to see it, you know?
like Love and Thunder was such a
Fucking
big
terrible. That was
miss.
horrible, man.
I feel like that one hurt a
I
lot
think
more
the
than
biggest one was Doctor Strange. That one needed to
that
be
one.
good
I
and it
had such
wasn't.
high expectations
Exactly.
for,
Like
and it
in the
had one of
grand
the
scheme of
worst
things, it
CGI
really
people.
wasn't that bad of a movie, but that one needed to be good. It didn't need to be not that bad.
Wait,
Doctor
which one were you
Strange.
talking about? Yeah, that
In
one
the
needed to be good.
looking back on it, it's not that bad, but that movie needed to be good or better than that.
Yeah, I was like going in thinking that was gonna be like one of my favorite MCU movies,
Me too.
and I ended up being like,
Yeah, I left it and
like
I was like, I liked a scene in it.
yeah,
I didn't dislike
maybe
certain scenes.
like the cape scene's cool.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that might be it.
Blah.
Yeah,
Well, for Chandler, I guess, the new Captain America movie comes out July 26th, 2024. Thunderbolts comes out December 20th, 2024. I'm pissed about that one because Sentry's the villain, and I wanted to make a Sentry movie with Skylar as Sentry. Um, and then Blade is coming out February 14th, 2025. Fantastic Four, May 2nd, 2025. Avengers Secret War, May 7th, 2027. uh, Kang Dynasty, the Avengers movie, also is moved to May 1st, 2026, and Deadpool was pushed forward 6 months and moved to May 3rd, 2024. So that one's coming out pretty soon.
I
That's
have a
Avatar
question.
delays. I don't care about that. Oh, those are some pretty big delays, actually. I do care about that. Continue.
Are you excited for Barbie and is it Oppenheimer?
Yeah, man.
I'm
Yeah,
so
man.
excited for
I'm seeing
I'm so
those.
excited for both of them.
I'm
I
seeing
never thought
those.
in a million years I'd be excited for a Barbie movie, but
Bro,
I
me
am so
too, man.
excited.
Dude, it's because they made this movie right. If they just made like a Barbie movie, then it would have been like blah. But they made a fucking Barbie movie, and everyone's
Yeah.
so excited for it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I saw somebody say the correct order to watch it is
Yeah, I think I've heard
Oppenheimer
this.
then Barbie because
Yep.
you'll have your
Your cigarette and black coffee right before
yeah,
going to see
cigarette, black
Oppenheimer.
coffee, Oppenheimer, and then like oh my gosh, what am I? It's the or
Martinis and
mimosas for lunch, and then watch Barbie, and then go out to the club after. And I died laughing at
that's
that.
so good.
Like I'm so
I
excited
think I
for
am
it.
seeing it in that order though, because I think actually no, because I don't know. It's gonna be difficult
Cigarettes
because
and all.
you don't want to be depressed going into Barbie, but you don't want to be like the happiest you've ever been in life going into
Going, you know,
Oppenheimer.
it was Christopher Nolan who directed Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then did you see he used an actual bomb?
Yeah, I did. But thank God. Hopefully, it's not an atom bomb. That would have been
I
bad.
saw I saw one thing. It's like, man, that bomb's gonna look so good in CGI. And Chris Nolan's like, CGI.
CGI. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, I'm so excited for both of those movies.
Me too,
Like,
man.
I think they're gonna be
I'm
good,
seeing them
but
on the same day, obviously. Like, I feel like
I mean, you
this is
have
one
to.
of those situations.
That's the only way I want to watch them now.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
same day. Like,
Sorry, I'm going
I
to.
mean, man, I'm down. Like, at first I was like, okay, I'll watch like one then the other. No, now I got to be same day.
Same day.
Like my entire day is being taken up with those two movies.
Easily.
I didn't expect you to be excited for either,
Yeah.
but I'm so
More
ready.
news. Sorry, we're approaching an hour, and I really want to talk about video games and stuff that I've been experiencing the last week. I'm sorry for cutting you. Not the last week, the last like couple months. Avatar 3 has been pushed back to December 19th, 2025. Avatar 4 has been pushed back to December 21st, 2029. Avatar 5 has been pushed
Wait,
back to.
nine?
I know, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. No,
Yeah, I
no, no.
thought you were
This
gonna
gets
seven.
better. It's in a different decade. The next one, the fucking Avatar 5 gets pushed back to December 19th, uh, uh, 2031. That's crazy.
I will be like 30 years old at that point.
That series is not
Crazy.
worth being a part of for that long. It is not worth it.
I will
Avatar
genuinely
is
be
not One
30.
Piece.
I'll actually be 30 by the time that comes out.
That's
That's
oh yeah, I'll be
ridiculous.
29. That's so sad. Wow, that's scary.
When did this start? I was what, like,
I was like 6. I was 6 years
yeah,
old.
it's
It came
like
in 2008, I think, or something like that.
I've been around this. Wait, 2008?
I don't know, something like that.
I was 7.
Too long. Too long.
They expect me to wait 23 years for 5 movies?
Yeah, I know. So,
I mean, if there wasn't such a big gap between 1 and 2, maybe.
did you ever watch the Daredevil show by chance?
This show, Daredevil,
Yeah.
I think I started it and stopped it.
Well, the sequel series of that, Daredevil Born Again, and also the new Penguin show that's in the Batman with Rob Bat, those both of those shows have been paused due to the writer's strike. That's it. That's it for that news. Time for the next
I
one.
actually have some, so this is from a
One
while
Piece.
ago, but
Sorry.
Seth MacFarlane is taking a break from Family Guy because of that writer strike.
That makes
So
sense.
Family Guy is not happening, being as
Yeah.
that he is more than half of the characters.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's not happening. I don't think South Park is happening
A lot of
for
stuff
the
isn't happening
writer
because
strike.
you'd be
Yeah,
surprised how many
how many
things
writers?
need writers,
I
and
feel
how
like a
many
lot of them.
writers are not getting paid what they deserve to be paid.
Yeah, but
One of those
like,
writers not being Oda from One Piece. That's a good. Actually, I don't actually. I have zero idea if he's getting paid a good amount or not. I'm just hoping. So, so the live
hold
action
up,
One
give me your
Piece
prayers.
got a trailer, and I am really excited for that because I think it looks really good, and it's really nice that Oda handpicked all of the actors and was really influential in the creating of the show because I feel like if he just let other people make it, it wouldn't have been One Piece. But the trailer really shows that they're sticking 100% to the source material, which is basically the only critique that like everyone has towards anime adaptations is that they're not like the anime. So it's so nice seeing the Sea King attack Shanks and seeing like Axe Hand Morgan with his weird like jaw thing. It's just cool things that get me a little bit excited. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna translate very well into live action. That's not a guarantee, but at least they're trying.
Yeah. Oh
We got a
man.
bunch of Mario updates. If anyone cares about that, one of the only one I screenshotted is Super Mario RPG is getting remade, which makes me so excited. And there's a new 2D one called Super Mario Wonder coming out.
Yeah,
That's
I did see that one.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm excited for that.
Are there any updates about the Batman 2?
The Penguin show is delayed. That's the only update I have in that
Okay, so
universe. It's not the
okay.
Batman 2, but it's in that universe. So
Yeah,
it's the closest thing I have to an update. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's fine.
I
It's
have an
fine.
update for other DC stuff though. I only have 2 bits of news left before we can talk about our life. But the the cast for the new Superman and the new Lois Lane have been set in stone for Superman Legacy, which is James Gunn's Superman movie, and that is David Coren Sweet and Rachel Brosnahan. I
Yeah,
probably pronounced this wrong.
I saw Henry Cavill is not Superman anymore.
Yeah, dude. So here's the thing: people
It
complain
was
about
like
that.
they
People complain
literally
about Tom Holland being Spider-Man, and now he's like the definitive Spider-Man. And this guy, I've seen so many side by sides. He looks like Henry Cavill, but younger.
yeah,
He
he
just looks
literally
like him.
looks like
He looks
senior
exactly
Henry.
like him. If you don't like him as Superman, you don't like Henry Cavill as Superman. That I think that is
I don't
just
know why
how it
they had to
is.
change it. I genuinely don't know why they had to change it, but I mean,
Well, they
maybe
had to
he was.
change it so that it wasn't confusing to people. He's doing a new
Oh,
thing. So if they brought in Henry Cavill, they'd be like, oh, this is an extension of Man of Steel. When it isn't, it's not. This is a new thing. This is a new Superman that's completely different.
he still looks just like him.
He looks exactly like him. He looks exactly like him. I think that
Yeah,
should
I
be a
think they.
compliment to Henry Cavill that he looks like. That's basically James Gunn saying, "Yeah, you look like Superman, just you're slightly too old for my gig."
I mean, yeah, I guess that's
And
a
plus,
nod to him.
he's following his heart. He's doing a Warhammer 40K series, which is his favorite video game of all time, and being the executive producer and acting in that, I feel like that's like a lifelong dream of his.
Probably.
Yeah, we have set photos from Venom 3, and we can see not much so far. A couple leaks have been confirmed that I'm not going to mention because I think it might make Skylar excited if they don't show him in the trailer. Or it'll make Skylar excited whenever they show him in the trailer. But
I won't watch it.
what?
I won't watch the trailer.
That's true. Well, you'll probably see it on the internet if it actually is in the trailer. But
I scroll past it if I think it's a trailer. If
yeah.
I think it's a trailer, it's gone.
But all I can say is that it looks like this movie is a sequel to No Way Home. Like it picks up right when that left off, which makes sense because
Yep.
we see Tom Hardy in like the bar and he gets teleported away. So in the set photo, for example, Tom Hardy is wearing the same getup that he's wearing in the bar. There's more stuff to it that kind of alludes to No Way Home's connection, but that's just something.
I
So
saw a lot of people theorize that it was going to be like the meeting of the two in this one. They wasn't sure if it was
the
going to be
two,
Venom 3 or Spider-Man and Venom.
yeah, but which Spider-Man?
I didn't know, and I frankly didn't really care.
Well, I'm
I
only
mean,
asking that because yeah, Venom is indeed in Tom Holland's universe, but Tom Hardy Venom, which is what this movie is about, is not in Tom Holland's universe. So that brings up what Spider-Man is in that universe. I know
well,
the answer to that
Andrew
question.
Garfield was also in Tom Holland's universe, so
Well, that's all of them were in Tom Holland's universe. I'm saying they were
yeah.
all teleported back to their original universes at the end of that movie. So, what Spider-Man is in Tom Hardy's universe is a question to possibly
Yeah,
ask.
I'm not sure because what it would probably allude to the symbiote suit, but Tobey Maguire already got it, right? In
Yeah,
Spider-Man 3.
you never know.
So it's probably Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield. And
Or it's a new
honestly,
Spider-Man.
I feel yeah, if it's a new one.
Hey, we are getting a new Spider-Man in Madam Web. Hey, it's okay. And
Yeah,
Skylar,
it's okay if he's good, but if he's not, I'm gonna be angry.
yeah, that's fair.
Like, but I feel like it's gonna be Andrew Garfield's. I don't know why. I have a really odd feeling. People loved Andrew Garfield
Yeah.
in No Way Home,
Well, they want
and
to.
like
Everyone
even
wants him back, so it would make the most
yeah,
sense.
yeah, and then Tom Holland's also getting a different Spider-Man movie anyway, so they can essentially make two Spider-Man movies with one actual type
Yeah.
of Spider-Man. Yeah, so like I feel like that makes the most sense to me. And like they talked about him like well talked about Andrew Garfield how he like started not pulling his punches,
Yeah, I
and I
like
feel like
that.
that
So
would
we could
be a
go
pretty
more
good
into
thing
his
to go back to
backstory.
it. Like, oh, here's a suit that's even stronger.
Yeah,
Like you better start pulling your punches for real now. Yeah. So
I like that. I
that's
think that's a good
my first
idea.
thought. What do you think?
I know the answer, so I can't say.
Oh, don't tell.
So we're a little bit over an hour here. So for the sake of time, we'll both say one thing that we have been experiencing over the last month. Okay.
Mhm.
I have been playing a shit ton of Tears of the Kingdom, which is the new Zelda game, and it is really good. It is probably the best game ever made, but I haven't done much in it because I've just been exploring, so I can't. I haven't finished it, so I can't say it's the best game ever.
What was it? I heard that uh Breath of the Wild was like voted like the 10 out of 10, and then this game came out and they're like,
What
we
do we
need to
give
change the
this?
scale.
Yeah, like we have to change it because
Yeah, they're like, how there can't be two tens if this was significantly better than the one before it.
well, I started this game and so I was really unlucky with the timing of it coming out because I had two vacations back to back. So G's vacation was happening, and then the very next one I was going to Punta Cana with my family. And sorry, I'm giving I know you know this. I'm giving the context to the people of the universe. So I went to the Smoky Mountains the day that this game came out, and it really made me sad because it wasn't like it was the day after, so I could get it and then play it in the car. No, it was the day, and we were going in the middle of the Smoky Mountains. There's not going to be a GameStop. I can't just go and get it. So I went that
What were you expecting
it
about it?
doesn't matter. Yeah, I know. I was really sad about it. I was so upset. It's fine though because I had a lot of fun enjoying the wilderness, and I didn't. I probably wouldn't have played it much anyway if I did have it. But the other vacation is different. I played the shit out of it. Because there was a lot of time in which I was inside not doing anything like waiting for showers or waiting for food or something like that when it's dark outside and it's not nice and I'm not doing anything. I was able to play it a little bit and it made me really happy. And G was like, "What do you think of it so far?" And my honest opinion, like 10 minutes into the game, was it is the exact same thing as Breath of the Wild, but with better mechanics. So I it would be very shocked if it is not my favorite game of all time.
Mine is I've just been watching like I don't know because like I'll go in like things where I just want to watch like I don't, I, I don't know if live action is the right word, but I just want to watch like people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I get me
Like
too.
I just want to watch people. I just want to watch something that is like decently relatable. So I'll go on that. So like obviously Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, watched those. A couple other things here and there that I don't really remember. Um, but now I'm back on like the anime grind. Like
Yeah.
I want to see fast fire fighting everything all the time. I want to see the best thing that my eyes have ever seen. Like I'm back on that. So
Yeah,
like Demon Slayer, obviously I don't know if you count the Spider-Man movie in this, but
yeah,
it's
I count that
animation,
too.
so watch that. And then Fire Force, like I'm like, yes, let's go.
That's
But I
fair,
have
man, dude. I've been grinding the
yeah.
fuck out of One Piece. Like back right whenever the semester was ending and I saw the Gear 4 transformation, the second that happened, all the way up until right now, I've been just grinding it. I finished Whole Cake in 1 week, but I was reading that one, so that's a little different because that was whenever I was up in the Smoky Mountains. So in between hikes and stuff, I would be reading it, or like if I was sitting out on the porch, I would like have like a cup of vodka ice and read some One Piece. And I finished all of Whole Cake in 1 week, bro. So fucking good.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
I was going through Crunchyroll and Funimation trying because I
Yeah.
want to watch Blue. I want to watch Blue Lock so bad.
Ooh,
Like
that's one I want to watch soon too.
ever since Damon's review on it made me want to watch it so bad. I was like, because I thought it was just like one of the overrated ones.
Yeah,
Like, oh, watch this, it's fantastic. And I was like, Damon, is it actually as good? He's like, bro, it's so good. I was like,
I
there's
can't.
no way you are lying to me right now. And then, um, So I was like, which one do you think I should watch? It was like the other really big show at the time. I forget what it is.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't remember. Oh, Chainsaw Man.
and Chainsaw Man, yeah, yeah. I have not picked that back
That's okay.
up.
I love it. I think a lot of people like. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. So like, I was like, okay, which one should I watch? Like Chainsaw Man or Blue Lock? And he's like, personally, I enjoyed Blue Lock a lot. And I was like, really? I was like, you are the only person who I heard, so I know you aren't lying.
I
Like,
can't attest to that because I haven't seen Blue Lock yet. But Chainsaw Man
no,
is
I don't know where it is.
fantastic. Huh?
I don't know where Blue Lock is.
It's
I
on
need to find it.
Crunchyroll, isn't it?
I
I
have no
see it
idea.
every once in a while whenever I'm searching. Like I'm like, oh, should I watch something other than One Piece? And then I look for 10 minutes and I go, no.
No. Yeah, but I'm starting to get close on the shows that like
Yeah, Blue Lock's
I
on
need to
Crunchyroll
watch. Oh, okay. I need
right
that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Um. I think I'm gonna start. I think I might not stream because that takes up a lot of time and I don't have that anymore. But in like break periods, I've been writing a couple scripts for ideas of videos to do just because I don't know, it's something to get my head out whenever I'm stressed. And I came up with this idea called While I Work because I watch a lot of stuff while I work. So I think it would be fun to do like a 5 minute like video
Little
review,
update.
like TV show review series, uh, based off of the different shows and stuff that I watch while I work. So I think I'm
I
gonna do
hear you.
that in the future instead of stream because that seems more up my alley because it's movies and TV show related and editing instead of talking for long periods of time.
Um, was it? I also decided after me and Lily finish Better Call Saul, she's watching Demon Slayer because of the new season.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to like I don't want to say like anything about it like
yeah.
good, bad, or anything because you're gonna watch it, but I think she'll love Rengoku.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Everybody loves Rengoku, so
Sorry,
like
I have to give more context. I am not watching season 3 because I watched Demon Slayer with my mother. I don't remember if we talked about this on the podcast or not, which is the
I
reason
don't
why I'm
remember
talking
either.
about it.
I know we talked about it before.
Yeah,
I forgot
I watched Demon Slayer with my mom, and she likes watching anime dubbed. So we're watching season 3 once it is dubbed on the different streaming services. So Skylar is avoiding talking about season 3 until then.
I did watch it subbed, and
I watch it subbed usually, but I've been
yeah,
waiting.
I enjoy the sub on that one actually. So I was fine with it. I like at first I saw like some of it was in English and I was like thrown off. I was like, what?
I
I was like,
like
this is
whenever
funny as it's
characters
Satoshiro.
and I usually like watching it in Japanese. G is a hardcore you have to watch it in Japanese person because she's like
You have
she
the extreme opposites on your
yeah,
end.
I know, right? Well, my mom only does it because she's bad. Well, she don't no longer has bad eyes, but she says because she has to read so much for work, she doesn't want to do it in her like off time.
Yeah, it's completely
Yeah,
understandable.
which is super understandable. But G's like, and my mom agrees with this, but she stands firm with her idea, and she stands with this with Rengoku because you know his "oh boy" thing that he does. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't sound right in English. It doesn't sound good. It sounds weird. My mom
yeah.
agrees with that, and she says Rengoku in Japanese is way better. Even though my mom loved Rengoku, she thought he was awesome. He's probably her favorite character, from being honest. Because why like honestly why not like yeah
I
but
mean, the Sound Hashira is sick. He might be
yeah,
one of
man.
mine.
Dude,
I
I was
forget his
telling it to
name.
my
I
mom
still
because
can't
we
remember his
we
name.
were rewatching that fight where like the scythe comes in like an inch from Tanjiro's eye and then it flies in and he goes, I can see it, and then he goes in. It's so good. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Demon Slayer, Demon okay, Tanjiro might say the cringiest stuff on the world. Whenever it comes to fight scenes,
Bro,
that
it's
guy is a
unmatched. It
badass.
is
Like, I don't know
unmatched.
what happens in his mind,
Yeah.
but whenever he's like, "You're not getting away," like he can
Yeah.
say he can say that 100 times. If he is chasing a bad guy saying it, I am always
Yeah.
on board.
Yeah,
Like,
without a doubt.
yeah,
I also love
but
how it's not overstaying its welcome. 4 seasons and that is it. I'm really happy that that's how it's gonna go. That
is it getting another movie?
I, I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't sure if anything was announced for it
Just the fourth
or
season. The fourth season has already started though, so I don't know. Well, like not
it
started
started.
coming out. It started being
Oh,
produced. Yeah,
I was gonna say,
they'd be
I
like,
know what
"Oh
I'm doing.
shit!" Yeah,
Like, yeah, I was so excited. It left.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's okay. All of the seasons end on cliffhangers, so that's how it's gonna go. Um,
I
I
actually don't
like
remember how it left off.
that's fine. I like
I
whenever
just remember it was cool.
I like whenever the reason why I choose to watch the Japanese dub a lot is because there's moments where the Japanese
They
characters
go
or certain
crazy.
Japanese characters say like English lines, and it's always really enjoyable, and I love it. And it happens with I'm thinking about it now because of the Rengoku thing, but the character Queen in One Piece does that a little bit. Excite! It's just
Um,
it's so good. It's so funny to me.
I I need to watch the infamous ghost stories in dub.
Dude,
I
yes.
think that would be
Oh
the
my
most
god, yeah.
enjoyable
It's
experience.
so funny,
I need
man.
to
My
watch
brother
it.
made me watch it. It's so funny.
Yeah, I need to do it. Where is it at? Do you know?
I think it's either on Netflix or on Crunchyroll. I don't know. It was back during quarantine because that was one of the first anime Austin watched, and he watched it because it was funny. It's crazy how
Yeah.
Austin's first anime he ever watched. He went from hating anime and thinking it was the weirdest thing ever to watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, then watching Ghost Stories, and then going into One Piece. The man,
That's
actually no, he watched
wild.
Naruto then One Piece. Sorry, he took a kind of normal route in the middle there.
Yeah.
The guy is
Um,
interesting. He's taking his steps into Marineford though. He just finished Thriller Bark. He found out what happened on Thriller Bark.
was it whenever I was talking to him before you went on your vacation to Putacana?
Yeah.
I was talking. He's like, I'm 300 episodes in, and I don't really know what's happening. Like,
I
I was
know.
like, oh no.
Well, cause no. Here's the thing. Okay, if you like turn your brain off and not think that there is another episode after the episode you're watching, then you'll be like, oh, it's a story of a fun little adventure. But if you start putting the pieces together, like probably what Austin did, because I told him you need to put the pieces together. I mean, I told him there's a point in which all the pieces come together. You don't need to. It's a kid show, but like he's looking for them now, so he's probably noticing all the little bits, and he's like, I don't get it. It's fine.
Yeah, that I'm assuming that's it.
Yeah,
But it was so funny.
it's so good, man.
He's like, I'm this far in and I don't have a clue. And I'm like,
But
I was like, I thought you were gonna try and talk me into it.
no, no, no,
Like,
no, no. Okay, that is talking into it. Okay, 300
I know.
episodes in, and the story hasn't come together yet. That means that is some crazy planning. There's some stuff that Austin saw not too long ago in like episode like 200 something that isn't even relevant until right now where I'm at.
See, I'm not remembering
You don't have
that.
to. That's the beauty of flashbacks.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
They're like, hey, remember whenever you would have watched if you were watching this like episode by episode, remember 40 years ago?
Yeah. Bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Um,
worth it, man. Worth. I'm so happy that it's well. Actually, I'm very upset that it's ending soon, but I'm so happy that I get to like experience that. It's like watching Avatar 2 in theaters or Endgame or something like that. It's like one of those events, you know?
no.
Yeah, because you have watched it twice already. You've lapped
Yeah.
me and then are watching it again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm finishing it
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Okay. Well, you can ramble on about something if you want, because I just went on a topic about One Piece for a very long time.
Um, I'm gonna be real. The only thing on my mind right now is Demon Slayer.
That's
Like, I don't want to say anything about it. Like, I want to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen because I want more stuff to come out. I haven't watched the trailer for it.
I
I am
haven't either.
refusing to watch the trailer. I've been trying so hard.
I've been so G gets all of her like G doesn't have any anime in her feed, so like all of the news or like trailers or anything comes through me. So we've been avoiding the trailer, and she's really upset with me about that because she likes watching trailers and I don't. And she's like, "I want to watch it." And I'm like, "Well, that sucks.
Yeah,
We're not
no.
gonna."
I think everything. Like, I don't know why.
It's just better because like, why would you like? What's more fun,
it's gonna put an
experiencing
expectation
it
over
all together or experiencing it in little parts throughout the next couple months?
You see, like, even with like
Oh, that kind of
movies, I don't like watching the trailer. Well, this isn't really for you because you know. I
yeah.
don't like watching trailers because then it sets an expectation in my mind, and if it meets the expectation, then it's fine. But if it doesn't, then I'm disappointed with the movie. But if I don't watch the trailer, I don't expect anything. So if it's good, it's great. If it's bad, it's whatever.
That's fair.
It's just
That's a
a bad
super
movie.
valid way of going into the
Like,
movie. I usually
yeah,
just don't
like the
want to be
trailer.
spoiled.
Like, let's say I watched the trailer for um Doctor Strange, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, this movie's gonna be like a 9 or like an 8." And I went in and it was like the 6. I would be like, "This is like a 2."
It
Like
sounds
like it,
very realistic.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like I tried to think. I
It's
tried to
like
think of
me with
something.
Spiderverse. I went into it thinking it was going to be perfect, so I
Exactly.
was really
Well,
disappointed with it a little bit.
yeah, I went in expecting nothing, and then it blew my expectations away. I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
It was a lot more than nothing.
Um.
But, yeah,
So
so
I want to say one thing before I go, and it's relation to anime and your favorite TV show of all time. So me and G watched the first episode of Mob Psycho because we were looking for a show before we settled on season 1 of
right.
Demon Slayer. She did not like it.
She's wrong.
So it was
Not to
my
hate on
fault.
somebody else's opinion, but there's like see, the way I look at it, if people with bad opinions didn't exist, then people with good opinions wouldn't
No,
exist.
no, no, no,
So
no. I
thankfully,
just
G's
think
on here to show my opinion is so much better on Mob.
no. I
'Cause,
G hasn't come around yet. She has watched I think 4 anime, so she's not. It's like trying to get someone who hasn't watched anime to watch One Piece. It looks weird. It's a little long. Like I don't know what it's
yeah, I
exactly the
will
same.
say Mob looks weird.
Mob
Yes, he
looks weird. It is not like a normal looking anime. And
no,
and I
it
can
is.
completely understand G going from Jujutsu Kaisen, Bunny Girl
Oh yeah,
Senpai.
that's what she's coming
Yeah,
from.
she's going
Oh
from
yeah,
Jujutsu
I
Kaisen,
know.
Bunny Girl Senpai, Silent Voice.
Oh my
Sorry,
goodness,
other ones
you
that
gave
just
her a
look like
line of
normal people, and then they watch
you
Mob.
gave her a line of tens with like the most normal and like easily like introduced
Yeah,
like animation style, and then
yeah.
Mob. Like
Yeah.
that's
Well,
Mob
I was
isn't.
like, it's good, and I want to watch the last season because I haven't seen it yet. And I was like,
That's
oh,
good.
I'll just two birds, one stone. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to kill any birds today.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I watched the last season. I mean,
I've heard it's really good, and
Lily
I
doesn't
want to
think
get around to it.
Lily doesn't think we watched the last of it. We didn't watch it for a while. I assumed she was done with it. I finished it, and so I'm playing devil's advocate, be like, oh yeah, you're right. We never
Oh,
finished
it's
it.
not my fault. Oh, we didn't
Meanwhile,
watch it. Right. Yeah. I
yeah,
didn't see it yet.
yeah,
Then you're just like,
yeah.
I get to watch it
Meanwhile,
again.
I know the ending. Like I
Yeah.
had to. It's one of my
Dude,
favorites of
it's
all
your
time.
favorite
Like I'm
show of
not.
all. Like, come on. Like, it's something. It's
Yeah.
legally by law. You had to.
Okay. It was. I will say it wasn't the ending I expected. I liked it. I
Oh,
liked the
okay.
ending though.
Moist called it the best ending ever, and he said that was one of the most tight anime ever.
It is so good.
That's
It
great.
is. So,
I'm really excited to watch it. So we've been going
um,
for like 20 something minutes. Sorry, 1 hour and 20 something minutes is what I meant to say.
oh,
I meant to say 20 minutes over an hour. Do you wanna to kick it and come
yeah.
back next week? Hopefully, with Jack. We actually don't know why he's not here. So
Yeah, but he
so
just didn't answer.
we didn't address that at all during the podcast until right
Oh yeah,
now.
Jack isn't here.
Jack isn't here, and we don't know why. We'll figure that out later. If you guys want to recommend a movie to us, or if you want to recommend me video ideas, because I actually would really appreciate that. Because after I'm done with this documentary, I think I'm going to focus a lot harder on producing more videos for the channel and stuff like that. If you have any recommendations, go to the comment section on YouTube. Go over to our Instagram at Mediak Podcast. Go to Twitter, also Mediak Podcast or Mediak Zach, one of the two. I don't know. Go to my Instagram, Zach McAlpin. All right, we'll see you guys next week. I don't know what movie yet. We'll talk about it. Bye.